Hey, what's up everybody? Anthony Patton back with the #1 final expense telesales training channel. And today guys, I got a really good one. This has been a very much requested one. It's going to help you guys close a lot of these objections. It's also going to help you guys get more used to one call closing and not letting the client off of the phone when you experience these kind of objections. I'm going to teach you guys how to overcome them just like that. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the banking. We're going to talk about how to get the social when the client says they don't feel comfortable with giving that information, or maybe they just don't have their banking right with them at that point in time. First things first, we have to understand why most agents don't overcome these two objections. Also guys, this is going to run very hand in hand with one call closing. So this is another way that you're going to understand why most agents don't one call close. It's simply because they don't overcome these objections. Yes, they do have a lot to do with building the right kind of rapport with your clients, okay? But more than anything, right? More than anything, it's about having structure. You need to have structure in your calls. You need to have structure in your conversations, okay? Now, most agents who fail out of telesales, period, they're not following a script, guys. They're not following a script, okay? They're just winging it. They're just guessing, okay? They don't even know what to say. When you don't have structure, guess what? You don't have predictability, okay? When you don't have predictability, you're not confident. When you're not confident, I hate to say it, but you're not gonna make sales. Plain, simple truth, guys. You're not going to make sales if you don't have the confidence starting in the conversation. Your intentions got to be right, man. Your intentions got to be to help someone out and help one of these families out. Okay. So first things first, I want to talk about structure, right? We're going to talk about the structure. How do we build the foundation for the banking rebuttal, right? So the first thing that we do is we plant these seeds very, very early on in the conversation. I'm discovering whether or not they have banking during the introduction of my calls, even through the discovery portion as well. And so what I do is I ask the right questions, okay? I ask questions like, do you bank locally? Do you bank with a credit union? Do you have an active checkings or savings account? Hey, in the state of Arizona, do you have an active checkings or savings account for eligibility purposes, right? And so when you ask those questions, they might seem a little confrontational to you, but understand, these clients do need to have these bank accounts so that we can automatically withdraw the payment, and that way they don't ever miss a payment and their beneficiary never has to worry about whether or not they're going to be burdened financially. So keep that going in the back of your mind. A lot of these plans, they do require to have an automatic withdrawal from these banks. So some do take a direct express, guys, but most of the time it's not going to be sticky business if you're writing debit cards and credit cards, okay? So again, hey, Mrs. Customer, do you bank locally or do you bank with a credit union, or, right? So have the confidence in asking that. And if you don't feel that confident, slowly say this. For eligibility purposes, do you have an active checkings or savings account in the state of XYZ? Okay, and I promise you guys, they're going to understand why you're asking the question. And if they do ask you, hey, why do you need to know that information, man? I just want to get the price. Hey, look, I totally understand. Unfortunately, Miss Customer, Mr. Customer, these plans do require you have an active checkings or savings account. It doesn't need to have any money in it because, again, we're not taking any payment today. But for eligibility purposes, to be eligible for these plans, you need to have an active checkings or savings account, okay? So they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's fine, whatever the case is, right? And also, guys, keep in mind, what if they don't have an active checkings or savings? Like, a lot of these clients aren't responsible with their money, with their finances, and that's why they're looking at final expense in the first place. So always be wary of that, and don't try to come off disrespectful or anything like, oh, you just really need to have this in place or whatever the case is, right? No. Look, we have plans for everybody. If they don't have an active checkings or a savings account, chances are they're going to have someone else pay for this anyways. So it's a good place to ask them, are you going to have your daughter? Are you going to have your son? Or is somebody else going to help you pay for the policy, right? So you're just going to keep asking these questions because these are going to be more objections for you to just uncover later on in the call when you can get them all out right now, okay? So look, I'm going to give you guys the close objection, right? I don't want to give that information, whatever the case is. We're going to nip that in the bud before we ever even ask for their banking. So another big benefit of asking whether they bank with a credit union or locally, you're going to get the name of the bank that they use, right? So what's the name of the bank? Oh, Chase. Yeah, I've been with them for a while, and you're just going to kind of build rapport on that. So we're also going to tell them, I have your routing number pulled up, and I just need to verify that with you. Let me know when you're ready. So again, you already established the fact that they have an active checkings or a savings account way earlier in the call. And now once we get to the close, we've already gotten their social security. Don't worry guys, we're gonna cover that one next. But we're only gonna ask them, hey, I have your routing number pulled up already, okay? Let me know when you're ready, and I'm gonna verify that information with you, okay? So that does a couple of things here. The first thing it does, when they let you know that they're ready, that means they have their information in front of them, right? They have to have their routing number to be able to verify that account information. Now, some of my clients remember their checking. Some of my clients remember their saving account numbers, guys. 9 times out of 10, they never remember the routing number. Here's the beauty. It is public information. So I'm gonna show you guys how to pull that up as well, okay? Now, once you have that, you've established yourself as someone credible. They're gonna think, wow, he's already got this information. We made it this far throughout the call. Let me go ahead and verify the routing number. So you're gonna read it off to them, right? Maybe it's 144100296, whatever, right? And then they go, yeah, that actually is my routing number, wow. And you're gonna go, great. Go ahead and verify your checking account number with me. Okay, so that's another NLP tactic. I gave them something, okay, and they are gonna give me their checking. And I don't know why, guys, but it's just the way that it works, okay? So let's bounce over here to the social. How do we get the structure built in? How do we build the foundation when we ask for their social security number on the phone, right? So we got to make sure that we've got the trust, rapport built and established well. So if you do all of those parts early on in the script, you're not going to have a problem with banking, and you're not going to have a problem with social whatsoever, guys. I'm going to gather as much intel as I can and tactically ask for their social security. The way that I do it, and this is just what works for me, okay? So if you're having trouble getting the social security when you have all this trust, all this rapport built, maybe you just need that little bit. You just need that little bit to push them over the edge and help them out, right? But maybe you're not super confident because maybe you're sketched out, right? I need you guys to understand. You're a licensed financial professional. You are a licensed professional. I passed mine by 1 point, but hey, I'll take it all day. I'm a licensed broker, okay? And you have to take certain money laundering courses, right? You have to take certain fraud courses and things like that to be able to deal with this sensitive information. So just know, guys, you guys are able to get these socials on the phone every time. 90% of my calls are one call closes, okay? And it's because I follow a structure. I have predictability in what I'm going to say, which gives me enough confidence to ask these questions in this way I'm about to explain to you, okay? So methodically, most of our clients are on Social Security or disability. Think about that statement. That does something for them, but it also does something for you. If you're on Social Security, you're probably filling out a lot of government forms, right? Maybe you're getting other benefits as well, Medicaid, Medicare. What do these all forms have in common? Well, they typically ask for your date of birth, okay? They typically ask for your date of birth. They also ask for first name, last name, middle initial, okay? What's another thing that they ask for? Are you a United States legal resident? Okay, I always ask you like this. And I have your date of birth as 08/04/61, right? Right, perfect. Also, are you a United States legal resident? Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. And we don't do medical exams like we used to back in the day, where we come to the house, draw blood, do urine samples and all that fun stuff. We don't do that anymore. It's a lot easier these days, I'm telling you. You're gonna love this. What we do is called a Milliman report, or Medical Information Bureau report, and you'll get documents on your application with this where you can download it. But all it is now is we just check your prescription history, we check a little bit of the doctor's notes, and just cross our T's and dot our I's, right? And what we use to run that report is your social. Go ahead with your social. Just like that, okay? Smooth, easy, calm, every time. Now, most of the time it works, guys. Sometimes I get some people who aren't so privy on giving that information, but it's not because you didn't build rapport. It's more so about a reaction. It's like a reflex, right? Like the doctor hits your knee, bump, and then it kicks out. Guys, they've been through the ringer like 20 times, okay? And every single time they've been taught in their lives, do not give this information out, especially over the phone. Look, easiest thing you can say, right? And this is why I say we don't do things like we used to back in the day, right? It's newer, it's easier, it's more effective. So that's part of the reason why we say that. But if they don't, say, look, I know how it was back in the day, and we don't do that stuff like we used to, okay? I totally understand your concern here. But there's one of a few reasons why the insurance company needs your social. Because look, I don't need it. They're the ones who need it for me to submit the application, right? And the first reason, Mr. Customer, is they're going to need to verify your identity before they pay out this $30,000 to your beneficiary. I will leave it silent just like that. And if they don't budge, I'm going to say the second reason is obviously what I just told you. I know you probably already know this, but they're going to have to use that social to run these Milliman and Medical Information Bureau reports. Now, your information is also HIPAA certified and protected. You will get documents in the mail about your information being protected as well. Normally, once I let them know all that, they're going to divulge the Social Security information to me, okay? Here's the biggest part I want you guys to take away from this. If you're weird about it, if you're just asking the social, I need to get your Social Security number as well. Like you're just going to lose it every time, right? And that's why it's so important to have this structure and predictability, right? So whenever you do something enough times, it is super predictable. You're going to have numbers. And you're going to be able to say it with confidence because you know 9 times out of 10, you're going to breeze past this. So look, guys, I hope you guys got value out of this content. Hey, let me know what you guys want to learn about next. Shoot me a text, 512-202-1928. Let's role play. Let's get together. Let's chop it up.